Hey friends, it's Laura with Laura B's Flosstube. Thank you so much for joining me. So first off, because this is going to annoy me if I don't address it, my really good friend Pam and Chuck, both of my friends, went to an event last week and they got me this really cool t-shirt. But I noticed when I started filming that all you see is Cult of, which is kind of, well, all right. So anyway, one of our local radio station personalities is Shag in the Morning. So they got me this really cool shirt. It says Cult of Shags. So yeah, so if you see my shirt that says Cult of, don't be losing your mind is what I'm saying. Okay, moving on into stitching tonight. I have got some finish. Well, I've got one finish. I've got some progress. I've got some updates. I've got a start. I've got all kinds of good news. I have a freebie to share later on. I have a quilting update, life update, all kinds of stuff. So we're just gonna jump in. First up is my finish. So last time I told you I was running behind for the month of April. And for the whole year of 2023, I'm doing one of the Saltbox stitches by Melissa at PinkerNPunkinQuilting.blogspot.com. I'll put her link down below in the description box. So anyway, this is my April stitch, which is the Tulip house. And I just finished it on a 2-layer piece of sticky board with some really wide rickrack in between those layers. So basically I'm just showing like half of the rickrack around this finish, and I really like how it turned out. So this is going on my perpetual calendar board that I got on Facebook Marketplace. And it has the magnets on the back. I didn't add the name of the stitch, which I need to do. But it's got the magnets on the back because my perpetual calendar has the magnets. So, I'm sorry, it has the washers. Oh my goodness, it has the washers on the back because the board has the magnets. So I'll switch those out each month, but this is what I did for April. And the cloth was a hand-dyed Lugana. It was an antique white Lugana that I dyed with rose quartz, and actually let me look and see just real quick. Okay, so yeah, it's just rose quartz. So that's all it is. And I kind of just like dunked it and swooshed it and folded it. It looked kind of cool and all that kind of good stuff. And then they're all anchor flosses. And my color conversions are actually my color choices because I didn't really convert. I just chose what I wanted. Here are my color conversions, so you can take a screenshot of that in case you want to use any of those colors, or if any of those color combos are like, woo, exactly whatever you're looking for, any of that good stuff. That's what that is. So once again, Tulip House by Melissa at PinkerNPunkinQuilting.blogspot.com. And this is a free chart, so if you love it, you can go get it for free. All right, so that is my one and only finish, but I do have progress. Oh my goodness, do I have progress? I'm so excited. So my first item that I did made some progress on was the flags on the 4th. And this is a pattern by Katie Nolan of Count Your Stitches. It's the American Quilters cross-stitch, which I think I have like a million times over called it the Quilters American cross-stitch, but it's the American Quilters cross-stitch. So you can get this pattern in her Etsy shop. She has a lot of cute new patterns that just came out too. So if you haven't checked out her shop on Etsy, you definitely need to find her. And actually, I think Fat Quarter Shop is carrying some of her patterns now too. So my April goal was to get these 6 blue boxes down here completed. So I got all of those done. And there are a lot of 3/4 and quarter stitches in there, and some half stitches, and anyway. So there's a bunch of those stitches in there, and it took a while, but I did get all 6 of the blue boxes done. So I'm done with it for April. Now in May, which I might discuss in a few more minutes, I'm on the fence. This is a contender for my May plan to finish. But the goal originally was to do, I think, the red stripes in May and the white in June, or vice versa. So I'm going to do one of the color of stripes in May and one of the color of stripes in June, unless I change my plans. So that's the first progress. The next progress, which I mentioned last time, that I was hoping to get this done, but I wasn't sure if I'd be able to, but it happened. So this is Autumn Love. This design is by Lori Holt. And I got the top row completed. Yay, yay, yay. So now the May goal, this is the other contender for May. I either want to finish a side in May or the stars, or try to finish the whole thing in May. So these are my possible 2 May contenders that I'll talk about in just a minute. And again, this is Autumn Love. I'm stitching it on 28 count Lugana. It's an off-white Lugana with the called for DMC. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, it's by Lori Holt, Autumn Love. Okay, my next progress is Peppermint Lane, which is Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. And I finished the sugar cookie house, which means I have the top row done because I am doing Peppermint Lane as one complete stitch. Let's see if I can, yep, there we go. So I have the first 3 houses completed, and I will start the tea house actually tomorrow night. So here's the first 3. And there's the peppermint house, the gingerbread house, and the sugar cookie house. Really happy with how these turned out. I finished up the border and everything on this end as well. So for the tea house, I'll have to do that beginning border and then the border on both sides of the tea house actually, and the next divider. So a little more stitching than the last 2 months, but still, you know, doable. And I was kind of following what Fat Quarter Shop was doing with their stitching guidelines. But I think Kimberly is like trying to finish. Like, so she would have the tea house finished by the end of April. That's her April house. Whereas I'm just going to start it on the 29th or the 26th, I guess. What is tomorrow? Yeah, the 26th. And I'll stitch on it until May 1st, and then I'll come back to it and finish it at some point in May. All right, so that is all of my whips. I have one new start, which I'm super excited about. The new start I have is the 1989 PrairieSchooler Santa. I'm stitching this on a 14 count Dirty Ada with called for DMC mostly. I swapped out the wreath color just because I wanted a little diversity in the greens. And I think I'm going to switch out the color for the cardinals as well, because again, I want them to stand out a little more from Santa's coat. So I'm going to be a little brighter of a red, more of a true cardinal red. I do have a mistake in the stitch, but I'm going to leave it. I posted this on Instagram last night and I was like, oh shoot, I forgot the hanging down portion of his belt. But I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it. It's fine. And so I'll stitch the year on this one as well when I get it finished, and that will be good to go. So I'm stitching on him tonight. Whatever gets finished tonight is what gets finished tonight. And then he'll be scheduled for sometime in May to finish him up. And that will be my second Santa for the year. I want to try to get 6 Santas done this year. That's only the second one, but you know, it is what it is. Hopefully I'll have more time this summer when I'm not in class, that I'll be doing more stitching. All right, so I told you about the tea shop house that will be a start tomorrow night. I do have 2 new things kitted, which are super fun. I think that I'm ahead of the game more so than I have been any other month this year. So I'm very proud of myself for that. For May, for the PinkerNPunkin Stitch Along for the Saltbox houses, I am going to be doing Aunt Bee's Summer Home. And I'll insert a picture here of Aunt Bee's Summer House. I am going to be stitching this on a 28 count Lugana. Have you noticed that I really like 28 count Lugana? I think it's my new favorite fabric. And I just did a simple tea dye on the fabric because I feel like this pattern kind of lends itself to be somewhat just kind of neutral in the background. And I did pull anchor floss for Aunt Bee's summer house. Here, I'll show a picture of my colors. Color choices. Color choices are there. And then if you want to see the colors, because who doesn't want to see the colors, right? Here are the colors. Yay! So, so pretty. So this is going to be really nice on that tea-stained fabric. I'm super excited about that. Into that, and hopefully by the next floss tube, I will be showing that off. And if you follow me on Instagram, which you can find my handle down below in the description, then, you know, hopefully I'll be sharing it before then as a completed project. All right, so that was a May 1st start. All right, so last time I mentioned that I am in love with the Peacock Manor chart that's in the June 2023 JustCrossStitch magazine. It's by Pansy Patch Stitchery, Quilting and Stitchery, and love it, love it, love it, right? So we were kind of talking about doing a stitch along. Lori Pengali actually tagged me on Instagram, so I'm totally fangirling on that. Thank you so much, Lori. So this is going to be, it's decided, this is going to be my graduation start. So I've been mentioning to you the last many floss tubes that I graduate May 13th. So I am having, you know, graduations that morning at like 8:30. I'm having a little graduation party, but I hope to get a few stitches in this on the 13th so I can say I officially started on the 13th. But this will be my graduation start. So please join in and please use the hashtag. It's hashtag Peacock Manor SAL for Stitch Along. And you can use that tag on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you post your pictures. And I would love, love, love it if you stitched along. I am going to be using, I'm going to be using a 28 count Lugana. Imagine that. But I chose wheat this time. I did not tea stain. I did not hand dye. I did not do anything. I just decided to go with wheat. And I'm using anchor floss. So here are my colors for the anchor floss. Let's see. Get in there where you're supposed to be. All right. Here are my colors for the anchor floss. And I did do a color conversion on this. I'll be sharing that at a later date. Well, I did a color picking on this, not really a conversion. A color picking on this. And I will share that at a later date. But May 13th. So tune in, I think it's May 9th, which is the next floss tube that I do right before graduation, and I will share all the details, and hopefully everyone will love it and jump in and join with me to do the Peacock Manor. Yay! All right. Moving on. A few upcoming things that I want to share with you, just in case you haven't heard. Stitchonomy is doing a new free stitch along this summer. It's going to start June 26th. You have until the 13th to sign up, and you're going to go to stitch-along.com to sign up, and I'll put that information down below. It's, like I said, it's a free stitch along. The theme is Kingdom of Life. They are spotlighting Carl Linnaeus, who is an inspired it's inspired by Carl Linnaeus, who was a Swedish botanist. He is known as the father of taxonomy, and he also formalized the modern system of naming organisms. So it should be kind of cool. I know there's been a lot of like science teachers and botanists and like just, you know, science people that are like so excited about this stitch along because of who it was inspired by. I can't wait to see what they do because their stitch-alongs are always so cute. And typically, so if you haven't done one of their stitch-alongs before, just so you know, what they do is they release like a little pattern every day for like so many days. I think like the Christmas one was like 25 days, and then they did a Halloween one that was like 31 days. So I don't know how long this one is actually, but they release like a little pattern every day, and then you collect all the patterns and you stitch at your leisure, right? The Christmas one I tried to keep up with, and I did pretty good. The Halloween one, I just collected all the patterns and I have them kitted up, and at some point I'll stitch it, which is kind of my plan for this one too, is just to collect the patterns unless I start seeing it and then I'm like, ooh, this is so exciting, I have to do it. In which case, you know, I will. So the supplies list will be released, I'm not really sure when. It'll be released sometime between now and June 26th. And so you'll be able to like gather your flosses and everything. And they actually have kits that you can buy, the cloth and the floss and all of that good stuff too. But I believe that she's in Australia or Canada, maybe. So you can get them through her Etsy shop, but just kind of like think about that when you're thinking about your ordering plans, because it's probably going to take a little longer than if you ordered it inside the US. All right, so that's what I was talking about earlier. I think I'm going to do for MayNia, I'm going to try to do like a mainly monogamous May. So I'm either going to try to finish the flags stitch, or I'm going to try to finish the autumn love stitch, or I'm going to try to finish the featherweight stitch. One of those three, because I feel like all three of those are doable. The other ones, like the Peppermint Lane, I don't think that's doable to finish that whole thing in May. So I'm not going to try to take that on. So one of those three though. So either autumn love, featherweight, or flags. I'm not sure which. I might just put them in a hat and draw one. I might take input from your feedback. So if you comment below and tell me what you think I should finish, maybe I'll take your advice. Maybe I won't. Who knows? Yeah, so that's all my stitchy talk except for haul, and I want to share my quilt stuff. And then we have a drawing. We have like a drawing to like announce and coordinate here tonight. So let's talk about haul first. I am so excited. And it's kind of funny because both of these things are the same designer. Same designer as my graduation stitch, in fact. So from Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery, I'm sure you've seen this because it's been very popular and it's around a lot. The Stitcher's Retreat House. I ordered that pattern. Super excited. And I actually ordered this from 123Stitch because a couple of other places that I order from were out. So I was like, well, I'll try 123Stitch and see what happens. They were super fast with shipping. I was very, very happy with that. The other thing I went ahead and purchased because of an upcoming sew-along is the Houses of Pumpkin Lane series, again with the Pansy Patch Quilting and Stitchery. And so this is just the first one in the series, but I have all 9. And I think I'm going to also stitch those as one stitch. So those are super fun, super excited about that. I'm not sure when those are going to be started or anything, but I have the patterns and that's the first step, right? All right, as far as quilting, let me swing this around and we will show off what I'm doing there. Okay, so I have shown this a few times before, but this is the Lori Holt Calico Garden. It's a sew-along that's going on right now. I don't have these pieces up there the correct way, so just envision with me that the top piece will actually go below the wheelbarrow, and then that little roof there with the crow and the watermelon actually go on top of the potting shed in the middle, the blue building that you see in the middle with the chickens in front of it. So that is what's going on with Calico Garden. I am caught up, which is amazing. I actually was working ahead and I got this week's blocks done last weekend, I believe, just because I knew that I had a couple things with life going on that I wanted to work ahead a little bit. So that is my progress on Calico Garden, and that's really all of the quilting that I've done the last 2 weeks. I haven't done much other quilting. I haven't done any other quilting. I've done a little bit of sewing, but nothing that I can share right now. Right. So last but not least, oh my goodness. Last Flosstube, I was at 688 subscribers, and I was super excited about that. And I was like, hey, if I get to 700, which I really felt was a good goal, because it's not easy getting new subscribers to your channel on YouTube. At least it hasn't been. That hasn't been the experience that I've had, I guess. So last time I was like, hey, if I get to 700 subscribers, I will do a drawing. And all of a sudden it was like bing, 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 and I was at 700. So I announced in the community tab, in case you didn't see it, and I also announced on Instagram that if I got to 800, I would do a double drawing. And so I am going to be doing a drawing for 4 zipper pulls, and they're scissor fob zipper pulls. That's what we're going to call them. I am going to hold these up in sets of 3. So make sure, you can go back and all that good stuff. So here's the first 3, 1, 2, and 3. And they have little charms on them. That is a button and an iron. 2 and 3 both have irons. Different colors. There's 1, 2, and 3. 4, 5, and 6. That is a 5 here in the middle. 5's kind of a Halloween theme with the scissors. 6 is pink with a sewing machine. 7 and 8. 7's like, Mizzou themed kind of. That one's 7 and 8. 9 and 10. Okay, so we're going to make this pretty easy. We're going to do a drawing for 4 of the fobs, all right? 3 of them are going to be in response to a question. The other one I will tell you about in just a moment. So 3 in response to a question are going to be given away. Your question is, what is your favorite DMC color number? All right? So you got to go look in your stash, figure out which DMC color is your favorite, and tell me what is the last project you used that color on, all right? Then in your comment, put the word fob and the number of the key fob that you would like, the scissor fob that you would like to have, all right? So that's for 3 people. The other one, the 4th one, is actually going to be the first one given away, because whoever comments first on the video below with the answer to that question will get one of the fobs. So if you're first commenting favorite DMC color, last project you used it in, and with the fob number that you want, then you're going to win that one. The 3 other people will be a random drawing that I do next time. And so all 4 winners will be announced in Flosstube 32, which will be on May 9th. And I typically upload sometime in the evening. I'll also post the winners in the description box of that Flosstube, and I will post them on the community tab on my channel. So you have until the evening of May 8th, right? Right. You will have the evening until the evening of May 8th to get your comment posted. But again, the first person to comment, you're guaranteed the fob. And then the next 3 will just be a random drawing for the other 3. All right, so you have 10 to choose from. That should be plenty for you to choose from. I really, really appreciate everyone subscribing to my channel, for liking my videos, and for sharing my channel with your friends and stitchy buddies. So thank you so much for encouraging me to do more of these, and thank you for following along. If you didn't see it, I did a tutorial last week on how to make a design board on your sewing machine. That's been very popular. So if you haven't watched that video, you might want to go check it out. Other than that, in the next 2 weeks, I hope you find lots of time to go stitching, and happy stitching to all of you. Hey guys, we're going to call this a, oops, Laura forgot. She's such a dingbat sometimes. I have a freebie for all of you. So I'll link it in the description box below. Here's a cute little picture of it real quick so you can see what it looks like. And it's just a free cross-stitch pattern. And I actually checked out all 3 of my cross-stitch patterns today and they all work in Pattern Keeper. Woohoo! So extra freebie for you for if you stuck around to the end. Woohoo! All right. See you soon. Happy stitching.